Hi guys, Ativ here, and in this video I'll be talking about my NFL playoff predictions, and we have UEP here. So what's up, UEP?
Hey guys, I'm back on. I know I haven't been on lately, but I was busy. Now we're back, so I'm hyped for playoff time.
Let's go. So you want to hop right into it?
Let's go. Okay, so starting off with our first game at 10:05 a.m. Uh, on the West Coast, at least for us, we have. I think this is going to be a very interesting game. Wild card round. Colts at the Bills, and the Bills did announce that they're going to have like 8,000 fans, so that'll be cool. And this is like the Bills' first home playoff game since like the 1990s, so that's pretty big for them. Obviously, they've had a bit of playoff drought, but then they made it as a wild card uh, 2 of the past 3 years, excluding this year. But they clinched the division. They're playing really well right now. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm biased here. My dad's a Bills fan, and I'm gonna definitely be rooting for them in this game. But they are warming up at the right time. That defense at the beginning of the year was not playing well. It has really gotten a lot better, and they're playing like a top 10 defense. They've beaten a lot of good teams. Um, the stretch they destroyed the Miami Dolphins, and they didn't even try. Like they already clinched that second seed. Excuse me. And Seahawks lost to the Browns, so they've already clinched that seed. And they rested, the rest of their players for most of the game, except for they rested their players for the second half, and they beat the Miami Dolphins, who are not a bad team. They're a 10-win team. The second half, they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They destroyed the New England Patriots in a way that is rarely done, even though they're not that good this year. They were competitive in a lot of games. So the Buffalo Bills are warming up at the right time. That offense is unstoppable right now. But the Colts, don't sleep on them. They're a very well coached team. They overachieve, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But I'm gonna be honest here. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. I think that the Colts, they have an interesting matchup with the Bills. But with that Bills secondary, I think they can really capitalize, and they're getting better every week. I think they can really capitalize off Philip Rivers' tendency to throw a lot of interceptions, as we all know. And the fact that Jonathan Taylor is a great running back, obviously that's good for the Colts. But the Bills' defense has really been stuffing the run as of late. And I don't think that the Colts will be able to do much against this team. I think it's going to be on the lower scoring side of things, but I think the Bills are going to win a convincing game, and I think they might win by, like maybe a 24-14 game, but I think it's going to be a convincing Bills win. I think they're a very good team. So give me the Buffalo Bills to defeat the Indianapolis Colts in our first Super Wild Card game.
Yeah. So I mean, the Bills every week as the weeks have been progressing, the Bills have just their defense has just gotten better. Josh Allen, he has ended the season off really hot. In the middle of the season, he wasn't playing too great, but he's playing like he played at the start of the season. And the Bills, I feel like they're definitely going to be able to stop the pass. And like you said, they have been having some great run defenses off late, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Jonathan Taylor. I feel like he's going to be the big X factor for the Colts on that offense. And I feel like for the defense, while the Colts do have an amazing defense, I just think that the Bills' offense is going to outplay that defense. And I think that the Bills will end up scoring more points. And I think that they will be the winners of this game because of how much the Colts are going to have to rely on one player. And football is more of a team sport. So that's a problem for the Colts.
All right, moving on to our next game featuring the best team in the NFL.
Oh, man. All right, we have the Rams at the Seahawks. I mean, I'm going to go with the Seahawks here. The Rams, they've been playing very sloppy
Smart.
football. Oh, yeah. But as I see it, I think that the Rams, one week, they can, honestly, I feel like on the weeks that they're on, I feel like they can beat the Chiefs. But then on the weeks they're off, they'll lose to the Jets. And I'm not, and I
Literally.
literally, yeah. So I'm not sure if this will be their Chiefs type week or their Jets type week. And I feel like the Rams, they're the most unpredictable team in the NFL. You never know what's going to happen with them. But as much as I hate to admit this, just to be safe, I'm going to go with the Seahawks here.
Yeah, so the Rams, I think, like Ativ said, they can, have their game where they really can beat the Chiefs, but they also have their game where they get destroyed by the Jets. So, uh, I think that, especially with Jared Goff being hurt, I mean, Seattle's not an easy place to play. The fans aren't going to be there, but still never an easy place to play, especially like when the wind picks up in the winter. So you know, Jared Goff, like I'm reading reports because they're kind of conflicting each other. It's like some say he's questionable, others say he's doubtful. I don't think he's gonna play, to be honest, because apparently he's in really bad condition right now. He could play. I wouldn't count it out. But apparently, and Ativ and I know Ativ and I might know better than me because I've been stuck in the political world for the past few days. But I know really, I wouldn't count on Jared Goff playing, and even if he does, he's going to be nowhere near 100%. If he was near 100%, I could see the Rams winning this game, but I'm not going to go against my Seahawks in the first round of the playoffs. I trust Russell Wilson. If we're in a situation where we're losing this game or something, or I really think Russell Wilson can take over, especially the way that Lockett's been playing as of late. He's been playing well. He hasn't been playing like he was in 2018. That's mostly because DK Metcalf is taking away a lot of those catches. So we're not gonna have an issue with the offense. I also think Jamal Adams might not play. He might play. Pete Carroll says he's optimistic about Adams. I don't think Adams is going to play, to be honest. I don't think Goff or Adams is going to play. But you'd rather be without. Seahawks is a better team to begin with. But you'd rather be without your safety than without your quarterback. So give me the Seahawks to win here at home, and especially seeing as we beat them a few weeks ago. I think that was 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Uh, at home, similar type game by 11 points, and we clinched the division. It was kind of a playoff game, I guess. And they had Jared Goff, so they didn't, just give me the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
but
talking too
something,
much.
yeah, but something I no, you're not. But something I want to say is that Jared Goff at this point, I feel like Wolford's gonna be better than Goff at this point. I mean, Goff's throwing way too many interceptions. He's not in the right mind of things. And Lockett and Metcalf, they both broke Seahawks franchise records. I mean, Lockett he got 100 receptions, and then DK Metcalf he got over 1,287 yards, which was Steve Largent's franchise record. So I mean, two franchise records were broken in one day.
It was pretty based. So yeah, but Ativ is appointed by John Wolford might be. Is that his name? Am I supposed to mess up here, or am I right?
I remember it being John, but I'm not sure. I know that it's Wolford, so that's why I
Yeah,
just went
yeah.
by Wolford.
Okay, so yeah, Wolford. I mean, you might be right because Goff has been playing well. He's also just really banged up right now. And considering that Wolford did beat the Cardinals, given they were without Kyler Murray, I don't really know who's better. But at this point, the Rams are in trouble. Give me the Seahawks. Let's move on. So we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington Football Team. Why can we just not? They should play the Rams. The Washington Football Team. They're inconsistent, but I still rather play them than the Rams, considering we beat them. Although it was a little close, we still beat them. I actually couldn't watch that game, unfortunately, but we did beat them. But anyways, I do think that the Buccaneers are going to win. I think it'll be convincing. I don't think the Washington Football Team is particularly good. They don't really show up for big games. I mean, yes, they did beat the Eagles to clinch the division, but I think a lot of teams have the ability to beat the Eagles. So I think the Buccaneers, just the Washington Football Team, their front seven is great, but that secondary just cannot contain Tom Brady, even without Mike Evans. So Buccaneers, I think they're going to win this by 2 touchdowns.
All right. First of all, the football team shouldn't even be in the playoffs right now. Doug Peterson literally took out Jalen Hurts. To give the third string QB a chance. Bro, like Chris Collinsworth was on his side the whole time because he didn't want to say anything bad. But bro, this is arguably your future quarterback. Why are you not keeping him in? Just because you're trying to tank? Eagles fans and players were super mad about that. Players were about to approach Doug Peterson. So in my eyes, the Washington football team shouldn't even be in the playoffs right now. But the football team, honestly, I was thinking about this actually. And the football team's defense, they have one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. But maybe Ronald Jones can be Raheem Mostert and he can just go off in one of the playoff games. And I mean, hey, the football team, they don't have the greatest run defense. But I think that while the Buccaneers not having Chris Godwin will hurt them very hard, and the football team's pass defense is great, so I think that they will have to rely on Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones a lot. But for the football team's offense, I mean, Antonio Gibson probably won't be able to get too much going because the Buccaneers have the best run defense. But if Terry McLaurin and Alex Smith can connect, that will be very scary Terry right there. But I mean, that's all I can really say for this game. I'm gonna have the Buccaneers winning still, But I feel like it can go both ways. It can either be a close game or a blowout for the Buccaneers. We'll see, but Buccaneers for me. Now for our next game, we have the rematch, the Ravens at Titans. Lamar Jackson, that's going to be the big story. Can he finally clutch up in a playoff game? My answer is no, and even if he does, I still think that the Titans will do better. And I mean, the Titans, for some reason, their defense, it's a horrible defense, but then randomly, just whenever they play the Ravens, they absolutely go off. It makes no sense. And then Derrick Henry, I mean, he had 195 yards, I'm pretty sure, last year in the playoffs versus the Ravens. So, I mean, I don't think that Derrick Henry will do as much as he did because AJ Brown has definitely developed into a better player. And I think that the team and Mike Vrabel will have or not Mike Vrabel, sorry, the coach will just have more confidence in Ryan Tannehill as a whole after he's seen that Ryan Tannehill can play at a high production for 2 seasons in a row. So I think that Ryan Tannehill, AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, those three will just be absolutely scary. The Titans offense, you can't stop it, honestly. And Ravens offense is very good, but nowhere near the level they were last season. So it's definitely not going to be a defensive battle. It'll be an offensive battle, but I think the Titans will come out on top.
Okay, so first, let's just take a moment to remember when this game happened last year. It was a much better time in every way possible.
Oh yeah.
It was I actually remember where I was, but for privacy issues, we're not going to disclose that because then you'll figure out where we live. But whatever, I'm veering off topic here. Um, the Baltimore Ravens and Tennessee Titans, I really do think that this can be a lot closer than last time because last time wasn't a particularly good showing for the Ravens. But really, I think it's going to come down to Derrick Henry, and I know that's easy to say because he's their best player on offense, blah blah. But really, how do the Ravens have a good defense? Generally speaking, I mean not top 5 necessarily, but they still have a great defense. I mean, not great, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Ativ, please tell me that you know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so I just don't see how they can contain Derrick Henry, especially the way he's playing right now with the Titans' offensive line, and then their defense isn't great. They haven't been playing well, but like Ativ said, they like to play well and they play the Ravens. But I think a lot of stuff lines up here right for the Titans, and Lamar Jackson just can't clutch up in the playoffs. I know this is only his 3rd year in the NFL, right? 3rd or 4th year.
Yeah, 4th.
He can't.
Sorry, third.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just don't see him being able to play at a high enough level to deliver his team the victory. So let's move on
Wait,
to.
well,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So something I do want to say about this game is Derrick Henry. He's had 2 game winners this season. One of them being versus the Ravens. So I mean, hey, if he can do that again, that'll be insane.
That'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The Titans like to play well against the Ravens. What can I say? So why can we not play the Bears? Okay, just why?
The
The
Buccaneers
Saints
should
are going to
play
win
the
this game.
Bears. They'll get their revenge, maybe, or maybe not.
That would be interesting. The Buccaneers Bears actually wouldn't be a horrible game. Saints Bears, I don't know. The Bears are not going to win this game. They're 8-8. They made the playoffs as a result of that 7th seed being there and the fact that the Cardinals choked. Although actually they wouldn't have made it either. Whatever. Yeah, actually no. Yeah, they wouldn't have made it if the Cardinals knew how to win a football game in Week 17. But I really do think the Saints are going to destroy the Bears. The Bears' offense is slow. They don't have that go-to guy. Nick Foles is clutch in the playoffs, which is the one thing that Saints should be worried about. But I don't see the Bears being able to really score a lot of points to keep up with the Saints offense that's been playing really well as of late. So the Saints are going to win. Let's go.
The Bears' offense is god awful, and the Saints' defense, sometimes they like to show up and play like the best defense in the NFL. And I mean, the Saints have a good run defense, and David Montgomery is really the only thing going for the Bears right now on their offense. So we'll see how that matches up. If Drew Brees can finally get things going, then it'll be very nice for the Saints. Or else they're probably going to have to put Taysom Hill or someone else in if Drew Brees can't really get things going. And I know that it sounds crazy, but I mean, this is the playoffs, and the Saints probably want to win another championship. I mean, who doesn't? So I'm still gonna go with the Saints though, because I mean, it's the Bears. Come on now. So yeah. Boy, oh boy, this one's gonna be an interesting one, but I mean, no, the Browns, they almost lost to the Steelers without Big Ben. And while Big Ben, he hasn't been playing great towards the late end of the season. He knows how to handle these situations. He's already won 2 Super Bowls, been in the playoffs many, many times in his career. He has a lot of experience, but his receivers are really young. So we'll see whether they get rattled or not. But I'm still going to go with the Steelers. Because, I mean, the Browns, they don't have the greatest pass defense of all time. And the Steelers, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith, and Chase Claypool, that's a very scary receiving core. And sure, they do like to drop passes a lot. But I think that they'll come out on top just because they're such a well-rounded team. And I mean, they're experienced as well, so I think that helps them a lot. And Baker Mayfield, he's never been here before, so I want to see how he plays.
Yeah, so I was actually sitting here for 2 minutes, trying to because obviously before we do this, like we obviously have to edit the slides a little bit. Ativ does most of the work. He takes the screenshots of these games, I'm assuming, and he puts it in the template. He just sends it to me and says, "I just have to put in my winners." And I was sitting here for a few minutes, kind of debating because I like to defer with Ativ for at least one game to make it interesting. And for me, is going to be the Ravens Titans game or the Steelers Browns game. But I have a gut feeling Titans are going to win. So I come here and I'm trying to find an argument for the Browns winning. And here's that argument. The argument is, the Steelers haven't been playing well as of late. The Browns are hot. They just have such a stacked offense. Uh, Obviously Jarvis Landry's been playing well. Nick Chubb is obviously a great running back. Baker Mayfield's been, not your. I wouldn't say he's your franchise quarterback, but he has been, playing at a level that is acceptable for a team as good as the Browns, or with team as good on paper as the Browns are. So that's the argument right there. That the Steelers aren't playing that well, and the Browns just have enough talent to win a narrow game. But the Steelers, I think they're better coached than the Browns, even though I think Kevin Stefanski's been doing a good job. And I just think that them being at home and Ben Roethlisberger, like Ativ said, they have the perfect mix of experience with Roethlisberger and youth and thirst for a title in your rookie or early seasons with with Chase Claypool, James Washington, and a lot of these other receivers for the Steelers. So give me the Steelers here. I wanted to defer on this one. I just don't see the Browns winning, but they've got a bright future. And yeah, but Steelers, I just think that they're going to narrowly outmatch the Browns because of the way that they played. Just generally speaking, the experience and the thirst for a championship. So I think that'll be it, right? But yeah.
All right, so thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Ativ.
Yeah.